Hello, this is our video for short-term trading purposes as of August 7, 2019 in preparation for the next trading day. My name is JC De Guzman. As usual, you're going to hear my technical analysis for 10 different stocks. I'll tell you my recommendation and overall sentiment. As reminders, please be informed that everything that we're going to talk about in here is meant for short-term trading purposes, even though we're going to discuss some index or blue chip companies. Lastly, I'd like to remind everyone that if you are about to enter a new position, there's an extra process that you must go through, and that is the calculation of your reward to risk ratio. And also, if any of these 10 stocks starts at a price higher or lower than the dominant range that you're about to see, and if you happen to be interested in trading the issue or name, make sure that you post a request for that stock's latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum over here. Let's begin with the first one in our list, that is BPI. BPI closed today at 94 pesos per share. Support is at 85.7. Resistance is at 95 pesos per share. Our 10 SMACD combo is not yet valid because MACD is still moving below the signal line. But the good news is that I am already seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the two lines. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying. It's a net foreign buying worth 276 million pesos. So foreign fundies are bullish on BPI. They have been bullish on this stock especially since the third week of July this year. The RSI of a BPI is already moderate. It's 4 to 5 points away from entering the high risk territory. Or no, that's for RSI, by the way. I thought I was looking at the historical volatility. My apologies. Let me repeat that. BPI's RSI is still in the relatively, this is still a neutral territory, but it's about 15 to 16 points away from entering the classical overbought level. It still has enough gas, more gas, to make some attempts to pierce or break above the resistance at 95. Now, this is for the risk level of BPI. It's still a low-risk stock based on its historical volatility score of 44%. The upward momentum of BPI is confirmed very strong. Now, let's take a look at BPI's trade and volume distribution chart to confirm if we have a bullish momentum power indicator. So your dominant range is from 94 to 95. If BPI starts at a price lower than 94, I suggest that you monitor it between 92 to 93. Okay, 92 to 93. If it starts at a price lower than 92, I recommend that you monitor it between 90.6 all the way to 91.2. So those are the dominant ranges of BPI in their proper hierarchy. And that makes the momentum power indicator bullish for BPI, even though the 10 SMACD combo is not yet valid. Now, here's the true market sentiment for BPI. Let me put this right here. The true market sentiment for BPI is neutral. It's still neutral, but my overall sentiment is still bullish for BPI. If you have BPI and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, you still have some data-driven reasons to add more shares to top up. Why? The momentum power indicator is still bullish. If you are about to enter a new position, don't forget that you have to calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Unless and until you are satisfied with your triple R, do not do a test buy, regardless whether the 10 SMACD combo is valid or the momentum power indicator is bullish. Let's say you are satisfied with your triple R for BPI and you would like to take the risk because you consider yourself as an experienced and a disciplined trader. you can then go ahead and do a test buy. You can preempt the validation of the 10 SMACD because the momentum power indicator is bullish anyway. But it's not really just because the MPI is bullish, but if you've heard my conditional clause, I said that if you regard yourself as an experienced and a disciplined trader, you can preempt the validation of the 10 SMACD combo provided the momentum power indicator is bullish, and of course, if you regard yourself as an experienced and a disciplined trader. That's what I highlighted during the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market seminar. It's an advanced seminar where I talk about my methodologies from stock selection to all the way to the execution of the trade plan. Okay? Remember what you've learned during that seminar. For a refresher, check the latest handouts that I have emailed to you 1 week ago. Okay? So after BPI, we have SM, another blue chip company. SM closed today at 990 pesos per share. Support is at 970. Resistance is at 1016. The 10 SMACD combo is not yet valid because the last candlestick is below the 10 SMA and MACD is still moving below the signal line. The RSI of SM is in the neutral level. The risk level is low. There's already a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive DMI and the negative DMI. But as far as today's closing, the negative DMI is still moving above the positive DMI. But again, there's already a formation of a bullish convergence. We want to see SM moving above the 10 SMA or closer to its immediate resistance at 1016. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 10 million pesos on SM. The dominant range of SM, as far as its closing price of 990 is concerned, is at 990 itself. But I would say that the legit, I think it was force closed at 990. There was a cross trade. There were cross trades, huge cross trades that happened at 990. There's an imbalance between the percentage of volume. Look at the right hand side chart. Look at the chart on your right hand side. I am seeing an imbalance of the distribution of volume vis-a-vis with the number of trades. Okay, 52% versus 7%. The legit, I would say, categorically speaking, I would say that the legit dominant range here is between 964 to 967. So watch out for that range also, 964 to 967. But as far as the turn of events, okay, I would say that the momentum power indicator remains bullish. Okay, so the true market sentiment of SM is bearish. So it seems that these folks knew something about what happened last August 7, huh? So take note of the 964 to 967. Keep your eyes on that level. Now, if it starts at a price higher than 990, make sure that the momentum power indicator remains bullish before you decide to add more shares or to enter a new position if you are happy with your reward to risk ratio. But for now, my overall sentiment for SM remains bullish. Okay, it's bullish. I'm still bullish on SM in the short term. If you have SM in your portfolio, here's my suggestion. Hold your position for now. Entertain the idea of topping up if and when SM maintains a price higher than 990 and if the momentum power indicator remains bullish. Once those conditions have been met, position or top up within the dominant range. I think that's the time that you should request for SM's latest TVD and TMS charts in the private clients forum. Same piece of advice for those who are yet to enter a position on SM. Next, BDO, another index company. It closed today at 149.8. the 10 MACD combo is still invalid. Even though the last candlestick is already trading above the 10 SMA, MACD is still trading below the signal line, but I am seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the MACD and the signal lines. Generally speaking, I like the perfect bullish alignment of the simple moving averages of BDO. The shorter term SMAs are all moving above the longer term SMAs. Support is at 141. Resistance is at 150, 157. Okay? A precursor to 166. Now, foreign investors registered a very slim net foreign selling worth 2 million pesos. Okay, okay, this is now the trade and volume distribution chart of a BDO. So it was also force closed at 149.8. For me, categorically speaking, the legitimate dominant range is between 145.6 to 146.5. So keep your eye onto that range as well, if and when BDO starts at a price lower than 149.8. Anyhow, I'm still the momentum power indicator bullish. The momentum power indicator of BDO is bullish. So the true market sentiment of BDO is bearish on the other hand. Could be because, let's see, it can't be the RSI because it's still in the neutral territory. The risk level of BDO remains low. There's also a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. So I think today's traders would want to see BDO inching up closer to the resistance for them to build this bullish appetite to acquire to end their trade with a positive net amount and to register a higher buying average than selling average. But overall, I'm still bullish on BDO. The momentum power indicator is bullish, with a caveat, with a reminder that you should also monitor this range between 145.6 to 146.5 if and when BDO starts at a price lower than 149.8. Okay, so your MPI is bullish. You know the drill. If you are planning to add more shares, and if you want to enter a new position, okay, for as long as for those who have had the stock and are planning to add more shares, you have a data driven signal for as long as the MPI or momentum power indicator is bullish. For those who are yet to enter a new position, you have to pass two things. First, you have to be satisfied with your reward to risk ratio. Number two, ideally, the 10 MACD combo and must be valid and the momentum power indicator should be bullish. You can only preempt or skip the validation of the 10 MACD combo for two conditions. First, you should regard yourself as an experienced and a disciplined trader. Number two, the momentum power indicator must be bullish at least. Okay? Do not forget those things. I'm not going to repeat them anymore. Okay? So that's it for BDO. Next, we have Security Bank, another index company or a blue chip stock. It closed today at 182.4. Support is at 160. Resistance is at 187.4. The 10 MACD combo is not yet valid despite the ascent in price above the 10 SMA because the MACD is still moving below the signal line, but I'm seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the two lines. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 65 million pesos. RSI is in the neutral level. There's still more gas for Security Bank to try to pierce the resistance at 187.4. The risk level of Security Bank remains low. There's also a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. One more green candlestick and we might be seeing the positive DMI crossing above the negative DMI. So the dominant range is between 181 to 182.4. It looks like these index companies were forced close to their intraday high on August 7th. Again, it's 181 to 182.4. The momentum power indicator is bullish. The true market sentiment for Security Bank is bearish on the other hand. So, do you have Security Bank and does it still trade above your trailing stop loss and you would like to top up? If your answer is affirmative, you can go ahead and add more shares within the dominant range since your MPI is bullish. You know my answer for those who are planning to enter a new position, right? Triple your reward to risk ratio first, and then if you regard yourself as an experienced and disciplined trader, you can go ahead position within the dominant range for as long as your momentum power indicator is bullish. Okay, take note of that. After Security Bank, we have Eagle Cement. It closed today at 14.6. It's at the point of breaking above the resistance at 14.6 itself. The standing support is at 13.85. If it breaks above 14.6 this new trading day, it will make 14.6 as its immediate support while making 15.7 as its immediate resistance. The 10 SMACD combo is already valid. Take note, the 10 SMACD combo is already valid. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 2 million pesos. RSI is already moving toward the neutral level from the classical oversold level last August 6. So perhaps Eagle may have already found its psychological support or bottom at 14 pesos per share. The risk level of Eagle remains low. There's also a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. I repeat, the 10 SMACD combo is already valid. With the dominant range position between 14.6 to 14.8, I would say that this makes the momentum power indicator bullish as well. The true market sentiment for Eagle is bearish on the other hand. Nonetheless, my overall sentiment is bullish for Eagle because the 10 SMACD combo is valid and the momentum power indicator is bullish. This means for me that the ascent in price is more likely to continue. So if you are planning to enter a new position or add more shares, you have two data-driven signals for you to do that. Just make sure that you are on top of your trailing stop loss so that even when the market acts as a contrarian to our data-driven bullish forecast, you are not clueless on what to do next. You can react accordingly because you know where your trailing stop loss is. I hope you still remember what I emphasized during the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market seminar. This is lesson number 6, remember? How to sell more logically and less emotionally. So after Eagle, we will proceed to DNL. This is no longer an index company, but DNL closed today at 9.45. It broke below its previous support at 9.94. This makes the support peg near 8.7 already. So 9.94 is standing as its immediate resistance. The 10 SMACD combo is no longer valid. We are already talking about the top 5 losers. Therefore, our momentum power indicator will become automatically bearish in this case. Again, the 10 SMACD combo is already invalid. RSI is super close to its classical oversold level. So keep an eye on DNL. We could make some good money on this stock as soon as we spot signs of reversals. Okay, those who attended the Evergreen Strategy, what lesson was that? How to spot the signs of reversals. It was in lesson number 1 that I gave you the signs that you need to spot, and then with lesson number 2 I gave you a flow chart. Refer to the handouts please, so that you know when to do a test buy on a downtrending stock. Okay, RSI, we're done with RSI. Risk level is still low. The downward momentum is still very strong. I see no signs of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 8 million pesos. The dominant range of DNL is between 9.45 to 9.5. So that makes the MPI bearish. The true market sentiment for DNL is bearish. No signs that the top 10 players are buying the dips. So let them exhaust themselves from the act of selling. Okay, we don't have to be excited without any data-driven reason for that excitement. So let's just let them reach an exhaustion level. We have to do a test buy at least once the momentum power indicator becomes bullish. Better if the 10 MACD combo becomes valid as well. Okay. All right. So just wait and see for DNL. Next we have Bloom. Bloom closed today at 11.2. It's at the brink of piercing or breaking below its support at 11.14. Resistance is at 13 pesos per share. If and when it breaks below 11.14, that makes 9.32 as its next support level. The 10 SMACD combo is already invalid. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 19 million pesos. RSI is in the neutral level, but it's downward sloping, moving toward the classical oversold level. The risk level of Bloom remains low, but it doesn't mean you should buy any stock that has a low risk level. The negative DMI is still moving above the positive DMI. I am not seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. Therefore, the downtrend is still more likely to continue in the case of Bloom. The dominant range is between 11.18 to 11.3. The true market sentiment for Bloom is neutral. There's still no appetite to buy the dips on Bloom. I remain bearish on this particular stock. So if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, just hold your position. Don't top up. Hold your position. Don't top up. If you don't have Bloom and you are planning to enter a new position, just keep on planning but stop buying first. Don't buy yet. There are no buy signals. Next, we got EEI. EEI closed today at 9.75. It already broke below its previous support at 9.8 by 5 centavos. Okay, by 5 fluctuations. And then 9.8 is now acting as its immediate resistance. Its new support is at 8.86. The 10 SMACD combo is already invalid. It has been invalid since the first week of July, FYI. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 7 million pesos. RSI is super close to its classical oversold level. Let's see if EEI will rebound from 9.7 toward its previous support at 9.8. But let's see. It could get cheaper than this, so we have to continue monitoring instead of making some assumptions without adjusting our game plans according to the prevailing data that we have. The risk level of EEI remains low. The downward momentum is still very strong. Okay, it's still very strong. The dominant range of EEI is between 9.75 to 9.8. The true market sentiment for EEI is bullish on the other hand. So it seems that it was attractive. The dips registered last August 7th was attractive enough for some buyers to pick it up at 9.75 to 9.8. And that's one of the reasons why I mentioned earlier, even before we saw the true market sentiment, that there could be a possibility for EEI to regain its position above its previous support. But we have to stay in a wait and see mode instead of making some instinct-based assumptions. We should always make some moves according to the prevailing data that we have. Okay, so for now, be on a wait and see mode on EEI. Let's not hurry. Those who love the dips last August 7th, last August 7th, could be those are the deep pocketed investors, institutional investors. For most of us retail traders, we don't have hundreds of millions in our portfolio. if not billions. Okay, so I'm still bearish on EEI unless and until our momentum power indicator becomes bullish, and ideally at least when our 10 MACD combo becomes valid, I'm not going to give you buy signals for EEI or any stock. Next, we got PPG. PPG closed on August 7th at 5.96. It's at the brink of breaking below that support level. Resistance is at 7.2. If it breaks below 5.96, the next support would be at 5.62, which is in confluence with a 61.8% retracement of the up Fibonacci. My swing low is right here at 3 pesos per share. My swing high is at 7.2. Okay, the 10 MACD combo is still invalid because the MACD line is below the signal line. RSI is in the neutral territory. Risk level is extremely high. I repeat, extremely high. That's the risk level. The upward momentum remains high, very strong rather, but there's already a sign of a short-term sideways movement that have begun in the last week of July. As you can see here, they are maintaining a steady distance. I'm referring to the positive and the negative DMI. They are showing a steady distance between the two, between themselves. Okay, so the trade and volume distribution of PPG is quite groggy. It seems that everything's a dominant range here, but we have to strictly pick one, which is in connection to its closing price of 5.96. That will make the dominant range closer to the intraday low than the intraday high, which is between 5.87 to 5.19 or 6, 5.87 to 6 pesos per share. The true market sentiment of PPG is neutral. My overall sentiment for PPG is still, I'm still bearish on this stock. I'm bearish for those who don't have a position on this stock yet. Two reasons. The 10 MACD combo is invalid. Second reason, the momentum power indicator is bearish. If you have PPG and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, just hold your position. Better if you will lock in some profits by sharing a few tranches. That is if your total holdings on PPG is higher than 20,000 pesos. Anything lower than that, please don't divide your holdings into multiple tranches. That's what I do. Okay, I'm not forcing you not to divide into multiple tranches, but I'm just sharing with you what I personally do. If my total holdings for any stock is less than 20,000 pesos, I no longer divide it into multiple tranches. I don't divide it anymore. Okay, so there you go. Don't enter a new position yet. Don't top up as well. Last in this video, we got Pepsi again. I think I've been discussing PIP for the past, since last week, if I'm not mistaken. PIP closed today at 1.75. Support is still at 1.55. Resistance is at 1.95. The 10 MACD combo is invalid already. It's invalid already. RSI is pointing, it's downward sloping. The risk level is moderate. And I'm seeing although the positive DMI is moving above the negative DMI, it's already downward sloping also. I'm seeing a sideways movement on the price of Pepsi since when? Since July, the first week of July. It's been in a sideways movement. You know me, I mentioned quite a lot of times already in my previous videos that I lack the appetite to trade stocks that are slipping in a sideways pattern. I'd rather position in a stock that is either poised to register a trend or is already moving in a trend. Okay? So the dominant range of PIP was between 1.75 to 1.81. The true market sentiment for PIP is neutral. Neutral as well. And that symbolizes another sideways sentiment or neutral. Yes, neutral of course, for PIP. Do you have PIP, and does it still trade above your trailing stop loss? I suggest you hold your position, don't top up yet, unless and until you see the tennis MACD combo revalidated, or if the momentum power indicator becomes bullish, don't entertain the idea of topping up. If you don't have PIP, don't buy it yet as well. Okay? Wait for some confirmed buy signals. That's lesson number what? Lesson number 5. Okay, in our evergreen strategy in trading the Philippine stock market. How to find confirmed buy signals. Or lesson number 4 rather, how to find confirmed buy signals. Lesson number 5 is how to find the best range where you can trade the stock. So there you go. You've heard my technical analysis, overall sentiment, interpretation, and recommendations for these 10 stocks. Everything that we've talked about in here is geared for short-term trading purposes. Be reminded of what I said during the introduction. And I'd like to remind those of you, especially those who have subscribed for 1 year, to buy your ticket, and so we can see each other in Cavite this coming Saturday, Las Marinas, Cavite. And on August 17 in Makati for what? For the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market seminar. I urge you to attend this seminar. It's very important so that you can understand from my point of view, so that you can clarify things that you have been hesitated to ask in our private clients forum. I'm going to discuss with you what I personally do, starting from stock selection all the way to the execution of plans, buying and selling, preempting the trailing stop loss, adjusting the trailing stop loss, etc., etc. Okay? 1 year subscribers, you can buy your ticket at a 50% discount. Instead of paying 6,500, you will only have to pay 3,250. For the 6-month subscribers, even though you are not entitled to a 50% discount, you can still sign up. Where? Here. Sign up right here on the seminars page on our website. You will get, I think, a 40% discount if it's still up. So you have to check if the discounted price is still up on our website, Cavite, Makati, so on and so forth. Okay? So these are the 2 upcoming Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market seminars this August. August 10, Cavite, August 17, Makati. This is very important. It will fast track your understanding of how I see things, so that you can also understand things through my lenses, through my eyes, through my understanding. Okay, so I'll see you in Cavite this Saturday and next Saturday in Makati. Again, my name is JC De Guzman. Have a great trading day ahead. Thank you. Bye for now.